Hey everybody, please excuse my slightly swollen, bruised face. I just had an emergency tooth extraction. 2 or 3 years ago, I started suspecting that I might have ADHD. I had long been aware of it as a thing, but like many people, I thought it was just being easily distractible and hyperactive, and I don't know how I came across it to start with, but I saw an article about ADHD paralysis, and after reading that, there was no looking back. Before I continue, because I know a lot of you out there do experience mental health issues, and I know that especially when I was living in Germany, unable to speak much German and unable to find an English-speaking therapist, I could really have done with a service like BetterHelp. So I'm taking a moment to advertise BetterHelp, who I'm partnering with for this video. If you need to talk to an unbiased mental health professional, if you can't or don't want to open up to family or friends, whatever your troubles, BetterHelp is an online service that matches you to a therapist for your specific needs. You can talk on your mobile or laptop via video chat, phone call or messaging, whatever you are most comfortable with from your own home or wherever you are. Sign up is quick and easy. Just go to their site, I've linked it below for you, answer a few questions about yourself, and you will usually be matched with a therapist within 48 hours. I've just signed up myself, got matched with a therapist the next day, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go, because I need that. Because it can't hurt, it can only do good. Therapy can be enormously beneficial, it's popular for a reason. Fact is, a lot of family and friends often simply don't understand, but a therapist does. They are there to listen and to help. So if talking to an online therapist with years of experience sounds like something you could do with, do visit BetterHelp and get started today. Okay, back to the ADHD paralysis thing. I've always been considered scatterbrained, hopeless, a fruitcake, disorganized. One of my biggest struggles in life is what I've always called seizing up or freezing up. Basically, when confronted with a to-do list, even full of mundane tasks, very easy ones that would only take a minute, regardless of importance, something stops me from doing them. Instead of taking action, I get utterly overwhelmed and freeze. And I can stay frozen maybe most of the day. Like, my body is frozen, but my brain is screaming at me internally to take action, just literally do something. Just start, just do the thing. I've never been able to explain why that is. And I thought, why am I like this? Why am I making my life so hard? I don't email people back. I don't book appointments. I don't finish jobs on time or at all. These things like messaging a friend or answering an email or paying a bill would take less than 5 minutes. And I know that, so why don't I just do it? And I thought, well, I must hate myself. Deep inside, subconsciously, I must believe that I deserve to suffer. This is how I self-flagellate. I lose opportunities. I let people down. I lose friends. The only conclusion is I must subconsciously hate myself, because why else would I make my life so impossibly hard when it needn't be? There has always been what I describe as a fog bank in my head. An impenetrable, intangible something. So back to the article. So there it was. The seizing up experience described. It had a name. It was a thing. So I looked into other ADHD symptoms and I had all of them. Literally. From my short-lived obsessions with hobbies or subjects, which I now know are called hyperfixations, constant lateness, extreme lack of focus, time blindness, losing track of conversations, interrupting people, fidgeting, starting about 1 million projects and never finishing any of them, detailed daily task lists, even my superpower to drink an energy drink and go back to sleep. My whole entire mind was blown to the sun and back. Literally every symptom I found extremely relatable, and since every meme, every little video, and things that I just thought were shitty aspects of my personality I couldn't change, it's strange seeing your personality described on a website. I've spent a lifetime reading every book on productivity, organization, habit forming, motivation that I could get my hands on. Be a productivity ninja, Atomic Habits, Do It Now, Overcoming Procrastination, The 5-Second Rule, Start Here, Habits for Action. Those are the tip of the iceberg. You name it, I've probably read it. But I was cognizant of this something being in the way, this fog bank. The thing is, I am not lacking in motivation or ambition. I am an extremely motivated and ambitious person. I know how to do tasks. I know how to break large tasks into small ones, but I still can't get them done without a colossal internal battle. I guess there's a spectrum of severity with it, like there is with many mental health issues, but I'm going to go ahead and say mine's probably quite bad. I find daily functioning extremely challenging, and always have done. Doing literally any task is like swimming through molasses. Being asked to do things is just too much. If someone says, oh, don't forget to do this today, oh, you need to do this. It's like, It's not just about not being focused or easily distracted. I am constantly extremely overwhelmed. I don't know how else to put it. Unless it's one of my many obsessions, then I can't stop thinking about doing whatever that thing is instead. And I can't relax. I can't just sit and watch a film or have a drink in the sun. I feel too guilty because I should be doing something productive with that time. I've just had to get used to living with this heavy mantle of guilt. You might think my life looks pretty successful having done YouTube for 10 years, but you've no idea how much I could have and should have done. I have a lot of projects on the go. I am a font of good ideas, be they creative projects or business ideas, but none of these things see the light of day. You only see the bare minimum I'm able to squeeze out. And the second I started saying to people, I think I have ADHD, I immediately started getting eye rolls from people, including family members who think it's made up, and others saying, yeah, I think we're all a bit ADHD. Like, sure, everyone gets distracted or forgetful. That's normal. But it's when those things become so extreme that they affect or ruin your life that it's a disorder. I saw a guy on TikTok the other day who said the next time someone says that, tell them, everyone blinks, but it's when you start blinking like this that it becomes a problem. But many people, including many of you out there, were like, yeah, obviously you didn't know that about yourself. As a child, I drove my mother nuts. Why don't you just do the thing? Oh my god. I drove my teachers nuts. I forgot we had homework, lost books, lost work, never handed things in on time, always daydreaming, poor time management. But nevertheless, a very bright and pleasant pupil, if only she could get herself organized. Organized. That word drove me nuts. Behold, a few of my school report cards. Right from the beginning to the end. The teachers are agreed that she needs to improve her concentration and personal organization. She has the skills but sometimes has problems with concentration, the need for her to improve her organizational skills. Difficulty concentrating on the task at hand. She continued to display disorganization and poor concentration in class. Her individual teachers consistently point to her lack of attention in class and her disorganization in general. However, she must concentrate on improving her organizational skills so that she can achieve her true potential. Did not hand in her folio, an improvement in organizational skills would help. Without good organization and a clear focus on her work, she is not going to reach her full potential. To reach her true potential, she must develop her organizational skills. She tends to be disorganized. This lack of organization is affecting her performance. She is somewhat disorganized, being very late with her assignment. Difficulty concentrating. Needs to learn to concentrate. She is too easily distracted. She must organize herself better. Needs to work on her organizational skills. She can be disorganized. Never quite gets organized. She can be quite disorganized. Suffers from disorganization and lack of organization. I found over 70 examples of this. My entire school life I was told I was disorganized. I needed to be organized, but no one told me what that word meant or how to do it. But in those days, ADHD wasn't as known or talked about, and there wasn't the internet. Autism was the same actually. I never heard of it until I was 20 years old. Now we have the internet and times have changed. No doubt if I was a child now, I would have been diagnosed at once. A couple of teachers did do their best to help me. One teacher came to me every afternoon to make sure I had everything I needed for my homework and helped me tidy my desk. In high school, a time management teacher was assigned to chase me around. So on one hand, I feel like just really let down by the fact that I've had to go this long in my life, being like miles away from my potential and what I could have been doing with my life, struggling for no reason. But on the other hand, I'm so relieved that there's an answer for it and there's something to do about it, and it's like, okay, let's go now. Feeling hopeful for the future, moving forward. When I think about all the people I've let down over the years, I want to die on the spot. So to everyone out there I've interacted with, every business I've let down by not finishing the work I was doing for you, then felt too guilty to write to, every friend I've lost by not keeping in touch, I am so sorry. I am sorry that you had to be one of the victims of my stupid brain. I have lived in a swamp of guilt and overwhelm for years, every day. I've never been able to explain why I simply don't do things to prevent problems piling up. Not texting back, not emailing back, not following up on stuff, not finishing work I promised to do. Everything goes on the back burner till the pots boil over, burn, and go on fire. But now for the bright side. It rather appropriately took me a long time to get around to it. Long story short, I asked my GP about it, who referred me to a clinical psychologist, as GPs cannot diagnose ADHD. Only a psychologist or a psychiatrist can do that after a proper evaluation. So I made an appointment that was going to be mortifyingly expensive, waited 6 months, counting down the days, until finally I had my appointment and got diagnosed with ADD mixed type. So everything is explained. My whole life is explained. By the time I got my diagnosis, I was 0% surprised, having read all about it, and it was strangely freeing because other people have it. It's understood. It's a thing. I don't actually subconsciously hate myself, and treatment exists for it. Everything is answered. Everything makes sense. My lifelong struggles are explained, and I am freed. So just last week I started medication for it. It's quite funny actually. Everyone told me, oh, Ritalin gives you this laser-like focus. You'll be so energized you won't sleep. I only took half of one. It was like, whoa! So on my first day I was really nervous and excited to see the effect of Ritalin, having heard that sort of thing about it. That's Adderall for you Americans. I drank my usual morning energy drink, took my first tablet, and an hour and a half later I was having a nap. So I'm in the process of gradually increasing the dose until the perfect dose is landed upon. I found the effect so far extremely subtle, but still astonishing. I don't feel any different. I just feel quieter, less overwhelmed. The sound of Peppa Pig in the background doesn't make me want to scream. I also feel about 20% bolder, less afraid of sending emails and making phone calls, the things my brain usually loves to avoid. The effect of this medication on me truly solidifies the diagnosis for me, because I'm obviously the kind of person this medication is meant for. I might actually be able to unfuck my life now. I hope so. I'm feeling quite positive for the future. Can anyone relate? Anyone else out there got ADHD or got a diagnosis that explained a lot and made you feel free? Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. That would be lovely. And as always, take care of yourself, be nice to each other, and I will see you next time. Bye!